It's Shark Week! Shh. Shh. So, of course, I had to start Shark Week with the most iconic shark movie of all time, 1999's Deep Blue Sea, starring LL Cool J and Samuel L. Jackson. And to make it even better, to launch this wonderful Shark Week, I have some, and this has been released for a long time now, but we're going to unbox, or at least some of the Spongebob Hipdot collection. And we're gonna start with one of the masks. I am so excited. Deepest, bluest, my head is like a shark's fin. Deepest, bluest, my head is like a shark's fin. Deepest, bluest, my head is like a shark's fin. Deepest. Hi friends. So I put up my hair so we can try out the first mask. The shark costume is very hot, so I'm sorry, but unless I get a bunch of subscribers at once or something, that thing's coming off. So we are starting with SpongeBob's Best Face Day Ever. It's Glow and Hydrate Face Mask with marine protein and hyaluronic acid. Cleanse and tone, check mark, already done. Put on mask. Alright, let's give this a try. I love these face masks, like generally. Oh, oh, alright. Alright. Okay. Wow. How do I look? I feel more beautiful already, you guys. Guess he's got a new Tinder profile picture. Relax for 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Alright, let's do this. I'll see you in 15. Alright, so what's next? Take off mask, wash off with warm water. Whew. I have to say, it does feel really nice. I do appreciate that, despite how horrifying it may look. Yeah? Alright. I'm gonna go rinse this off, block my eyebrows and stuff, and we'll do the second Patrick mask after I've taken off all my makeup, and I'm gonna put on this one. But yeah, I'll see y'all in a little bit. Alright, we're talking about Deep Blue Sea, 1999, directed by Rennie Harlin, starring Samuel L. Jackson, Michael Rappaport, and of course LL Cool J, who had the song Deepest Bluest, which we will talk about that music video and song a little bit later. First, I already put on my Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base, so we're gonna go straight into the Krylon TV paint stick. Alright, so this is, I guess, it's like a horror movie, right? So it tries to, like, play on the genre a little bit, which I give it credit for. Like, it seems somewhat support, like, it's, alright, it's not terrible. But it's also, like, incredibly awesome at the same time. And let's just go through it. So we open on, like, a traditional horror scene. There's teenagers making out. And of course, all sluts must die, so they get eaten by like these crazy big sharks. But then it's like, wait a minute, where are all these crazy big sharks coming from? So then that's when we learn all about like the secret, well, not about secret, but the big shark facility where, okay, one second here. So apparently there's a bunch of scientists getting out of control with their, like, shark research, right? And so the government's like, you gotta shut this down, this is crazy. And then this lady gives this incredibly impassioned speech because apparently their shark research is gonna cure Alzheimer's. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Okay, sure, alright. there's some like protein in their brain they're trying to like grow that will like cure people's Alzheimer's or something. And she's like, just give us 48 hours and we can get it done. And I'm like, I don't think that's how science works. So this is the premise of the entire movie. This is where we start. This is like 2 minutes in. This is, hey, how are you? We're injecting stuff into sharks' brains to make their brains bigger to cure Alzheimer's. So, yeah, welcome to Deep Blue Sea, friends. Okay, so apparently Samuel L. Jackson is taking some people to check out, because he's like from the government, I think. It's a lot of, this is not very clear, to see what's going on exactly inside this research facility and see if it's worth keeping open and I guess funding? So they go in this like giant submarine and it's this huge underwater research laboratory. I'm like, who is funding all of this? Is the government funding this? Like, this seems like, I feel like there are cheaper ways to do Alzheimer's research. I'm just, and we see like all where like the test sharks are, and they're kept in an area where like the fence above the water is only 8 feet high. Now, I'm not a shark expert. I'm not a marine biologist. I know I'm not any kind of fence expert, but what I can say is that if a shark that is bigger than 8 feet that can also sometimes jump, so many poor decisions were made. Yeah, so they're basically running like an aquatic mental hospital because like they're doing research for the brain. It's very weird. Hold on one sec, let's get the contour and highlight. Yeah, it's gonna be the usual Ben Nye, light pink, and then hazelnut. And then we get a shot of like a shark brain dissection. They're doing, or I can't tell if it's a dissection or a biopsy, if it's dead or alive. I feel like the scientists don't care, and perhaps it is that complete lack of caring for the rules of Mother Nature that causes the events of this film. Oh, did I just figure it out? And then there's a guy who's like a diver, I guess, but he's the only one that like, I guess the sharks respect, or like he's wily enough to get away from them, or some bull garbage like that. Oh yeah, and LL Cool J plays the Aquatica chef who runs his kitchen with a parrot on his shoulder who he talks to the entire time. And I feel like this is breaking all sorts of OSHA regulations and health codes. I guess, what do I know about sea law or shark law? So, oh yeah, and so now all the sharks we see feeding time have now, I guess, evolved to the point where they will only eat other sharks, which should be alarming for people, but it seems really not to be. That's all right, fine, whatever. We're just gonna pretend like everything's fine. We learn a little bit more about exactly how big the shark's brains are getting, and I guess with the last injection, now the brains are 5 times size larger than regular shark brains. I guess to get for the protein or whatever, which I mean, like, has anyone ever seen any, like, Planet of the Apes, anything like that? What good ever? We have so many, this movie is made in 1999 and set in present day. What good ever comes from taking another species and making its brain incredibly larger? Has any good ever come of that in any story, in any actual real world event ever? Feel free to link it below if you think you got one. I would love to see it. But we're barely making it as it is. I say keep the rest of the animals' brains small till we figure out our own stuff, man, because we can't handle that, clearly. And so then after we learn about how big the shark's brains are, then we get the first indication that this might be a bad idea. When 2 sharks synchronize an attack on a diver, and they're like, sharks aren't supposed to be able to do that. Clearly they're getting smarter. Nobody takes the hint. And then we see the sharks start knocking out the cameras as well, which is just like all sorts of messed up. So then the diver finally, or I guess like the ex-con diver, who's good with the sharks, is able to shoot one of the sharks, and they bring it into the facility to examine, which, I don't know if that's a good idea either. And then they start extracting the substance from the shark that I guess that they're trying to use to cure Alzheimer's. And then the Samuel L. Jackson asked the scientist, they're like, so what exactly are we looking for? And she goes, lightning in a bottle. And does not elaborate or explain anything what that means. Like what, in any kind of fake science at all. Like what? That's it. That's all we get. That's it. That's it. That's it. And then I guess, so there's this other like sort of smarmy doc that was hanging around, and he is smoking or something and makes some sort of snarky comment. And then the shark, who I guess they just extracted the substance from, jumps up and eats him, and it's like super terrifying. Or no, sorry, maybe it's not the shark on the table, but like a shark from the water jumps up, and there's all these huge waves, and like all of a sudden, like, yeah, now everyone's trying to like run from their lives and trying not to drown in here. Oh yeah, and so when the people get underwater, the sharks start to like pull them down because they're like smart and evil now. There's a big explosion for some reason, even though there's water everywhere. Yeah, and at this point, so one of the sharks has, I think, so here's the problem, it's like whenever the sharks get them, they don't just like eat them and pull them down, they like play with them and stuff because they're evil and horrible. And the shark that takes the smoking doctor down like starts like yanking him around and stuff, slams him against the glass to like show everybody, and he's like, help me, I'm drowning, but they have to leave, and that's like right before the big wave comes in, and like it's a nightmare. They're all trying to escape. Yeah, and so apparently there seems to be like almost no way up or escape now that like everything is flooded, which seems like poor planning. It seems like, yeah, whoever engineered this did a terrible job. Alright, yeah, so like they start to involve this elaborate plan involving getting subs and going through the water to the surface, through the water where all of the sharks are. Let's get some powder on. I'm using the kimchi puff pass that I usually use. And while they're trying to like find some way of escape, this is when we find out that the doctor in charge, who's been injecting all the sharks, has been doing so with some sort of genetic material that violates some sort of international treaty. And one of the other doctors turns and goes, "You stupid bitch." Because now there are genetically enhanced sharks. And then at one point we see like a floating, what looks like a floating Playboy in the water. JK, it's a shark. It's a trap to get one of the humans. Oh yeah, and then someone's out trying to like outrun a shark in the water. And I went, how you gonna outrun a shark in the water? That's like where it... Apparently the bird's name is Bird, which is supposed to be funny. Oh, and then we find out the sharks broke all the subs. Oh shit. You're lucky, because that was a stupid plan. They were just gonna fucking eat you anyway. This movie was a lot of me yelling at the TV. Alright, so I'm gonna let this bake for a little bit, and then come back, dust this off, and then I'll see you back in movie magic second. Alright, so I'm just gonna put some like Ben 9 neutral set powder under my eyes. Alright, before we continue on, I'm so excited. Ah! I've had this thing for like forever. I got it as a gift. And I've been waiting for an excuse to open it, and the opening of Shark Week sounds like no better time. Woo! Don't point scissors at yourself, friends. At least it's securely wrapped. Oh yeah. Hipdot Spongebob Bikini Bottom Eyeshadow Palette. Alright, Nickelodeon. Get hooked on these 15 shades. Aw, snap. From the deep blue sea inspired by your favorite yellow sponge. SpongeBob SquarePants and all his friends. Let's just say everyone this side of Bikini Bottom will have their eyes on you. Alright. Oh. Cute. Alright. Excited. Ah! Alright. Yeah? Oh, you can see my camera. That's funny. Alright, let's dip into some of this, like, shimmery advanced darkness. I think I'm gonna try to, like, shape out something here. Alright, so where were we? Oh, yeah. So, LL Cool J, we go to him. He's getting attacked by a shark in the kitchen because everything's flooded and, you know, the water's just deep enough where apparently the sharks... Can sharks swim in that shallow of water? I guess these are genetically engineered sharks. It doesn't really matter, right? Anyway, so the shark eats bird. It's tragic. LL Cool J hides in an oven. But like the shark's not gonna find him. And the shark does find him, but it's like one of those double-decker ovens. And he goes from the bottom layer to the top layer, and I guess the shark can't reach him there because it's slightly dry. I don't know. It's all just... I mean, I love LL Cool J. I'm happy to see him survive. I just, maybe I just don't understand shark science. Oh yeah, so then, the shark starts to go away, but then LL Cool J decides to, like, jump and swim out, and I'm like, why would you do that? You were safe. He started to go away. He yells, "You ate my bird!" And I guess he's, like, out for revenge, which seems... I mean, like, look, I know he's, like, jacked and all that, but, like, I just don't think any human, no matter how much you work out or how many Kangol hats you have, is going to be able to take on a genetically engineered shark whose brain is 5 times the size of a normal shark. So then he throws... Yeah, so LL Cool J does get away, thankfully, but he does so by, like, taking a Zippo lighter, lighting it and throwing it at the shark, because I guess he left the gas on in the oven or something, and it lights up the kitchen and it blows up the shark, and I'm like, yo. I mean, look, I'm not a scientist. Somebody knows more about this than I do, but I feel like it's so wet in there. There's so much water in there. None of this feels possible. How are there so many explosions when there's so much water? Is that a thing? So the owner of the place, who's like this rich guy, says, like, he breaks like a pact because, like, he went, like, hiking with these people or something. I honestly didn't write down a lot of the details of it, but I feel like it's not important. The important thing is that, like, 2 seconds after everyone's like, hey, maybe you have a point, he gets, like, eaten by a shark, just like, hop, chop, chop, grab, and it's, I don't know if it's meant to be, but it's hilarious. Oh yeah, so they're trying to get to this door, and there's, like, if there's a breach and, like, the air pressure or something, when they open this, we'll all die and it'll flood with water or something. They open the door and there is a breach, but, like, they managed to close it in time, and I guess it was, like, not a problem at all, which, I mean, like, great, but then why bring it up? I don't know. There's fireballs for some reason. Oh, but the sharks start to, like, break through the door. It's pretty great. It's pretty great. Okay, back to the makeup. It is deep blue sea. I think I would be remiss if I didn't go over this and shade it out a little with the deep blue sea. And then I'm going to go in a little bit with the blue lagoon, and then maybe a little bit in the middle with some of the Trito. Oh yeah, we also get a lot of shark POV, which I love. Alright, I might not be able to talk while I'm doing my eyes. Alright, so I just added some of the coral floral taupe color to sort of blend out the edges. Let's dust off the bottom, then we'll do some bottom. And yeah, let's keep talking about this. So the diver opens a sealed steel cage with a knife alone, which seems like it defeats the purpose of the multiple locks, but, you know, I feel like if you're gonna watch this movie, you gotta really let go of your need for let's see, logic. Yeah, and then one of the other doctors falls in, the shark. They love to show off their kill, and like the entire pool turns red with blood. It's very menacing. But LL Cool J comes through and finally meets up with the rest of the party. An hour and 8 minutes into the movie, he finally meets up with the rest of everybody else in the movie. He has no interactions with them before this. It's I don't know. So meanwhile, since they've broken into like the normal level, the doctor who was in charge of, you know, violating all the treaties and stuff, wants to get some sort of like paperwork or something from their office. You know, obviously like the research or whatever, even though it's flooded and there's sharks everywhere, but she goes anyway. Then this is pretty messed up. So, a group that's like wandering about, I forget who's in the party at this point. They go to like the control room or whatever and find the doc that they thought was dead, the one who was like smoking or whatever, and he's sort of still alive, but he's like all tied up with all of their like different instruments and stuff, and like, oh, it's like gross, rough, messed up. Oh yeah, and then while that lady is going back for notes, she almost gets eaten, of course. But finds a way to like electrocute the shark, which I guess like good for her. But then after the shark is electrocuted, she jumps in the water and just like walks around like the water's not electrified. I don't know how the physics are really working at all in this movie, and I'm really trying to let it not bother me, but it's getting rough. It's getting rough. So she goes to get her notes, but it turns out the notes are ruined anyway. Of course. Yeah, LL Cool J distracts the shark so this lady can get away. Even though he's like right next to the shark. So much of this doesn't make sense. The shark takes the bait. But then it seems like they got LL, but then LL stabs the shark on the way down. Yeah. It's a pretty fantastic scene. Oh yeah, so it turns out that like all the like the reinforcements and fencing and everything on this sort of floating shark farm, it's only titanium on the bottom and just steel on the top. I know, like, budget cuts or whatever, but like I feel like if you're moving sharks into that, maybe you should have reinforced that, but whatever. And somebody, I forget who says this, but I just have this written down in my notes. All sharks want freedom. Alright, so they, I guess, are able to make a dynamite out of flares. I don't know much about pyrotechnics, so if someone wants to let me know if that's realistic. But the doctor that's left, you know, the one who caused all this, volunteers use himself as bait. Shark starts to eat him. And then all of a sudden LL Cool J appears and is apparently still okay, even though it looked like they got eaten by a shark earlier. But whatever, right? And then he like wrestles a shark underwater. It's pretty fantastic. Okay, so real fast on the eyeshadow here. So I will say that like I like the colors. The mattes are really great. The glitters do have a decent amount of fallout, except for some reason the advanced darkness, which is like the darker ones don't for some reason, but the lighter ones have a lot. Like the tree dome has a ton of fallout. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm into it. I like it. I'm definitely gonna use this a lot. I really like these colors. Since LL's so okay, he's able to set off the bomb, which blows off which kills finally the last shark, and then of course setting up this possible sequel. Actually, I think definite sequel. Are you sure it was only 3 sharks? Dun dun dun. And then, yeah, after this, a boat, I guess, comes to the rescue for the people that are left, including LL Cool J. And that's sort of the end of the movie. It's a quick watch. It's a lot of fun. If you just want to like watch a bunch of sharks and explosions and LL Cool J being awesome, I highly recommend it. We'll talk more about the review at the end, but so as usual, I have finished talking about the movie before I finish my makeup. So let's do a real quick. Let me show you what I'm gonna use before fast forward. Yeah. So actually, since I'm running super low on my kimchi stuff, put me on a PR list. I'll love you forever. So I've got this Sephora Pro old like thing. I'm gonna use some of this dark. What is this? Groundbreaking as contour. All right, and then for the blush, we're gonna use this Trixie Mattel Back to the Fuchsia palette. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go over and highlight with the hologram because I want a little like silver situation. Because sharks. Yeah. And then after contour blush and then highlight we're gonna do definitely some of the hologram, but then we're also gonna do some of the kimchi Thaler Get Glow Hollywood Glow. I think mostly like the silver kind to do some more overall highlight. And then after that, fast forward, we'll stop in for lips, show you what I'm doing, and then yeah, let's get to it. Alright, so for lips, I'm using this Crown Fuego, just sort of like dark red lip liner. I'm gonna overdraw a little bit, and I'm gonna do something fun to see if I can give myself a little set of shark teeth. So I'm gonna draw in some like little white bits and fill in and put a little white glitter on the top of that. And but yeah, before I do that, I'm gonna just go over with my little like makeup sponge and sort of give this a neutral background. See you in a second. Alright, I got my shark mouth on. I'm gonna put on a wig and some kind of clothing, and I'll see you in a minute. Deepest, bluest, my head is like a shark's fin. Or at least I attempted. Woo! With this wig a little bit. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope you enjoyed this makeup. I've got a full week of shark stuff coming up. So I think the last things I'll do is, so the mask that I used so far, I'm gonna give it like a 5 out of 5. It felt really good, and it looked really weird, which was fun. I love freaking people out in those little face masks, and yeah, actually I think it really did a nice thing for my skin. And then the makeup palette, the Bikini Bottom eyeshadow palette, I'm gonna give it like a 4 out of 5, just because there is like a little bit of fallout from some of the glitter colors, but I really like the variety of colors. I like how bright they are. I hate palettes that have a lot of neutrals because that's just not my style. Got a cute little mirror. Yeah. And then as far as this movie, yeah, so I'm gonna give it 3 out of 5 genetically engineered sharks. So if you just want to watch a stupid movie and have fun, this is a great movie for that. But yeah, if you're bothered by like logic or scientific facts, this might not be the movie for you. However, I highly encourage you. I'm not paid for any of this. Also, all of the stuff I make up, I paid for myself. To check out the music video for Deep Blue Sea by LL Cool J. I put the link down in the description. Yeah, it's a riot. It's like Bugsby and Berkeley, like old Hollywood, like women and like in the pool, like doing like leg things and stuff, and then LL Cool J going deepest, bluest. My favorite line from that is I ate your ancestors, the ocean is haunted. Yeah, just I had a lot of fun. This look. Feeling fierce, feeling fabulous. Happy Shark Week. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time. And if you have watched the whole thing, yay, thank you so much. So right after this, after I take off all this makeup and stuff, I'm gonna put on the Patrick face mask, and then you'll get a little bonus review of what's going on. Happy Shark Week, friends, or happy morning, day, evening, whatever it is to you. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye. Hello, if you've made it all the way here, congratulations. We're gonna test out the second mask right now. This is the, I've now taken off all my makeup, tried my best to wash everything, and we're gonna go to Patrick's Spa Day. I have cleansed and toned per instructions. Let's put it on. Alright. Alright. It feels good, and I look like a horrifying clown. Oh god. For once, I wish I had roommates so I could scare them. Okay, what do we do now? Relax for 15 minutes. Alright, I'm gonna fast forward while I relax with my clown mask. Alright, take off mask. Alright. I'm gonna go wash off with warm water. I'll be right back. Okay, yeah, I'm feeling refreshed. It feels pretty good. These masks, I have 5 out of 5. Big fan. I'm down. Let's do it. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.